I don't know if it's just me, but it took me forever to
Content creator Sarah Wee is a familiar face on TikTok.
I'm going to show you how to do it in this video. This is the cheapest way to start investing with only $50.
Together with her brother Aaron, the siblings share personal finance and investment tips to thousands of followers. But while Aaron began investing as a teenager, Sarah only started years later.
Microsoft, Google. It was always something that was on my to-do list, but never up in the priority. So I always push it to, next year, when I get older, when I earn more money, when I graduate, things like that.
Sarah finally took the leap after reading a best-selling book on personal finance. She started with exchange-traded funds, or ETFs. Sarah now actively trades and has a portfolio consisting of equities, bonds, and commodities. But her initial inertia is typical of the experience of many women.
I think for me, starting out, it was a little bit confusing. It could be because of the way it was taught. Most of the people online are also men. In my experience, so on our channel, for example, we have about 70% followers who are male and only 30% who are female.
I actually see the biggest two challenges for women investors are on their mindsets. Yeah, so number one is always a misconception in this market is that I do not have enough savings to get started. Yeah, so I often see female investors fall short when they comes to making investment decisions because they're always waiting for the perfect timing. They're thinking that they don't have enough money to get started.
American fintech SoFi put that to the test by asking AI to generate images of investors. Just 20 of 1,000 images generated were of women. Despite those stereotypes, it's more important than ever for women in particular to put their money to work.
Number one, we tend to have a longer average lifespan. So this means we need a bigger retirement funds to fund our twilight years. Secondly, women tend to be in a caregiving role in the family, which means that they may take years off the workplace, and this tend to widen the wage gap with men. What this means is that it will translate to lower savings and lower CPF balances as well.
The good news is, studies consistently show that when women do invest, they tend to do it better.
So I think number one is women tend to have lower chance of overconfidence. Yeah, so we're more open to admit that we do not know and we tend to ask around for help. Which also brings us to the second point is women who are more likely to educate themselves on. So usually they will put more time and efforts in doing a lot of research and into every different angle and details about it.
Investment firm Saxo says there are promising signs more women are taking charge of their finances. During the pandemic, it saw a global increase in new women investors, up more than 350%. In Singapore, that number was even higher. Before you get started, first ensure you set aside 3 to 6 months' worth of emergency funds. Make sure you have sufficient insurance coverage. You can then plan how to invest your idle funds. You can start with as little as $100 a month. Experts recommend putting this money into a broad-based ETF so you don't have to worry about picking individual stocks. You can also reap the benefits of dollar cost averaging.
I would buy a specific stock maybe once a week or once a month and use the same amount of money for each transaction, for each purchase.
So we begin with dollar cost averaging with the S&P 500.
And for me, that was the easiest way to get started because you are investing, but you don't need to time the market, and timing the market is pretty difficult, especially for people who are beginners.
According to DBS, once you feel more confident, you can put up to 30% of your monthly investment budget into more opportunistic stocks.
So for instance, if you think that, oh, there's an opportunity in health tech now, you could look at that. And so this taking a portfolio approach will help you to take advantage of more stable investments and also growth opportunities.
Those looking for added convenience can consider automating their monthly investments. Whatever the method, women we spoke with say it's more important to get started and then stay invested for the long haul.
Of course, there's no one-size-fits-all solution for everyone, but I think it's important to just get started.